がここにいるうちの本物のスクールスポーツのために行こうぜベイビーバンこの国は気をつけて、現実になることがありますからね。
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so one of the more intriguing storylines going on in our sport right now is the future of Top Rank. You know, Top Rank has been a boxing promotional juggernaut for not just years upon years, but decades upon decades, and they've survived a lot of different eras. And you know, I'm of the mindset that because they've survived so many times and they've adapted so many times throughout the course of the history as a company, I have all the faith in the world that Top Rank will find a landing spot and that Top Rank will find their footing in this post ESPN era and in this era of in this space of box right now, which has completely been overran by Turkey and the Saudis. So with that being said, and with that firmly being established on True School Sports, it was reported by none other than Rick Glazer. And I know Rick Glazer is a polarizing figure in the boxing world. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. But Rick's been in the business for a long time. And, you know, he does have some good information. There's been many times where he's called things before it's even been reported out there in the media. So I think, you know, his opinion, on at least for me, it does hold a little bit of weight. So with that being said, Rick Glazer has reported that Top Rank has struck a deal with none other than Starz. Yes, Starz. For those that are not in America that don't know what the hell Starz is a premium channel. You get it on, like, if you have, like, you know, DirecTV or even like cable services. They show a lot of movies, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like, Starz is a massive downgrade from ESPN. The budget they're getting for these shows is a massive downgrade from ESPN. You're talking about ESPN, which is giving Top Rank, you know, millions upon millions of dollars per show, to now Starz, which is giving Top Rank $1 million per show. So that's going to be kind of hard to work out, because if we're talking about maybe some of the Top Rank's world championship fighters, such as a guy like, let's say, Brian Norman Jr. or Angelo Leo or these kind of guys, I mean, a world champion is going to command at least $300,000 to $400,000, and you're going to have to really get creative with the rest of the shows. So I really don't see this as like their landing spot. I see it more as a lifeline to buy them time to figure out what they're really going to do and secure another deal with a bigger network, with a bigger budget, because they're going to have to. I mean, they've got a growing stable with fighters such as Xander Zayas, Brian Norman Jr., Angelo Leo, Emiliano Vargas. You know, Top Rank has done a great job of building a lot of young talent, and now a lot of that young talent has reached the stage where they're fighting for world titles. I mean, you got Abdullah Mason fighting for a world title, one of probably their top prospect. So that's another guy you gotta look out for. And they need to keep these guys busy and keep their careers moving forward, because they can ill afford to have a guy like Abdullah Mason or Brian Norman Jr. or Emiliano Vargas become stagnant, you know, or an Angelo Leo. They gotta find a way to keep these guys busy and active, and I feel like Starz will be that. Now, it may, and I believe it will, drag down the quality of opponents, because if the networks are only giving you a $1 million budget, it's just not, you're not going to get the biggest and best fights. So, you know, the quality may not be what people want, but at least it's something to keep these guys busy. That being said, you know, Rick also stated that in the tweet that he believes that this is also going to be the beginning of Top Rank, you know, cutting down on a lot of employees, because truth be told, the Starz arrangement cannot sustain Top Rank's overhead. So you might see some of your favorite commentators not on Top Rank no more. So I'm really intrigued to see what kind of cuts are going to be made, who's going to get fired. You know, who's Top Rank going to hit with the Vince McMahon, the whole "you're fired." Who are they gonna say these things to because they can't pay them no more? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy times we're in. Very, very crazy times we're in. But it's a stage where I think, look, we're in an era in boxing where you have the Saudis and Turkey who have overran boxing programming. Everything's going to the zone. And a lot of these promotional companies, whether it be Matchroom, whether it be Golden Boy, PBC, Top Rank, they're all going to have to find their footing at some point. Matchroom and Golden Boy, not as much right now, because they do work a little bit more with the Saudis than Top Rank does. PBC and Top Rank don't really work with the Saudis as much as the other companies. So I feel like they have a steeper curve as far as finding out what they're going to do for the future of their stable of fighters. And Yeah, I'm intrigued, man. I'm very intrigued. I wonder what the first show is gonna be because, again, they got guys they gotta keep busy. They can't just have guys sitting on the shelf. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We will definitely see how it goes. For those of you wondering, because I know a lot of people may be saying like, okay, if Top Rank is going to Stars, how much is a Star subscription? Now, from what I've read and what I've gathered, a Star subscription will cost you roughly around $10.99 per month. So basically $11 a month. Which is higher than like let's say an ESPN. I believe that's higher than ESPN Plus, but y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But like, it continues this trend in boxing where, you know, these promotional companies are putting the fights behind a paywall, which is making boxing less accessible to the average Joe in America. You know, the average Joe in America doesn't have time, energy, and or money to be paying for Starz, DAZN, Amazon Prime. Who else? What? You know, there's a lot of different subscriptions you gotta have, and then sometimes a lot of boxing fans will have these subscription services, and they're not really getting bang for their buck because either they're not getting really competitive fights, or they're not getting no fights at all because the promoters just are not getting dates like you would think, even though they have deals with these networks and subscription services. So I am very intrigued to see if this is true. I'm very intrigued to see like what's gonna happen to the Top Rank stable and the champions and the young rising stars, because like I said, they put the work in building guys like Xander Zayas and Miliano Vargas and Abdullah Mason, and now these guys are at a stage where, you know, in some cases they are world champions, or they're about to fight for a world title, or they're like, you know, a year or two away from a world title. But either way, like, they need to stay busy so that you can continue to build their star power and have the next generation to build upon. Because if not, then you know, Top Rank's going to be in some real trouble. So that's the news, guys. Top Rank has apparently struck a deal with Starz. I will be led to believe that this is going to buy them time to get a bigger network, another network deal with a bigger budget, and allow them to keep their fighters busy and active and moving forward towards the future of their career. So what do you guys make of all this? I mean, it's just crazy times we're living in. Are you going to get a Starz subscription, or do you already have one? I know some people, because Starz have like hit shows like Power with 50 Cent, which I know is very popular amongst people. They, you know, you may already have a Starz subscription, but if you don't have a Starz subscription, we'll be getting one to follow Top Rank. You know, I'm a big fan of Top Rank, what they do for boxing, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably either get a Starz subscription or use a friend's Starz subscription. But either way, I'll be watching the fights. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.